The vast emptiness of space stretched out like an endless black canvas, punctuated by distant starlight. On a quiet Tuesday morning at the Global Space Monitoring Center, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Computers hummed, screens flickered, and technicians monitored their usual grid patterns. Jay Park had been working the early shift for 15 years. He knew every blip, every standard signal that crossed the massive monitoring screens. But today was different. A strange anomaly caught his eye, a tiny dot moving in a way that defied all known physics. His initial reaction was to blink and look again. The object was traveling at a speed that seemed impossible. Standard computer algorithms couldn't calculate its trajectory. Modern sensors struggled to track its movement. It was moving too fast, too smoothly, with a precision that suggested intelligence beyond current human understanding. Director Kim, Jay called out, his voice slightly trembling. "You need to see this." Hi. Kim approached the workstation, her experienced eyes scanning the screen. Years of space research had taught her to be skeptical, but this was something extraordinary. The object showed no conventional propulsion. No heat signatures. No radiation emissions. It was like a ghost cutting through the cosmic darkness. The monitoring room fell silent. Technicians gathered around, their coffee mugs forgotten. The strange vessel moved with a grace that seemed almost deliberate. Its speed was approximately 0.7 times the speed of light, a velocity that should have been scientifically impossible. "Run a diagnostic," Director Kim commanded. "Check all systems." Technicians worked frantically, verifying equipment, recalibrating sensors, double-checking every possible variable. But the result remained the same. The object was real. And it was moving in a way that challenged everything humanity understood about space travel. International communication channels lit up. Military bases around the world received encrypted alerts. Space agencies from different countries began sharing data, trying to make sense of the impossible detection. Jay continued tracking the object, his hands steady but his heart racing. This wasn't just another routine monitoring session. Something significant was happening. The vessel seemed to be approaching the solar system's outer regions, moving with a precision that suggested purpose. No markings. No identifiable technology. No response to any communication attempts. Just pure, unexplained movement. The object's trajectory suggested intelligence. It wasn't random. It wasn't a natural phenomenon. Something, or someone, was controlling this vessel with extraordinary skill. As hours passed, speculation grew. Was this an advanced alien spacecraft? A technological breakthrough from a secret government program? Or something entirely beyond current human comprehension? Director Kim understood the magnitude of the moment. This detection could change everything humanity knew about space, technology, and potentially, their place in the universe. The mysterious ship continued its journey, indifferent to the excitement and fear it was generating on Earth. Its smooth, silent movement seemed to mock human technological limitations. Jay Park kept his eyes fixed on the screen. In all his years of monitoring space, he had never seen anything like this. The object moved with a purpose, with a direction that seemed almost deliberate. Something was coming. And humanity was about to discover how little they truly understood about the cosmos. The detection was just the beginning. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of this part of the story? The Global Military Command Center buzzed with nervous energy. Screens flickered with the mysterious object's trajectory, casting blue-white light across worried faces. Suk Choi, the lead communications specialist, worked frantically, his fingers dancing across multiple keyboards. "We've tried everything," he muttered to himself. Radio waves, quantum signals, optical communication protocols, nothing worked. The ship remained silent, a ghost moving through the solar system's dark corridors. Around the world, governments scrambled. In Washington, military strategists huddled around massive screens. In Beijing, scientists worked overtime. Moscow's research facilities burned midnight oil. The mysterious vessel had become a global obsession. Satellite networks repositioned. Advanced tracking systems locked onto the vessel's impossible trajectory. Military planes and space monitoring stations worked in perfect synchronization, collecting every possible piece of data. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a renowned astronomer, stood before a massive projection of the ship's movement. Her team had calculated its path multiple times, each calculation more unbelievable than the last. "It's not just moving," she explained to her colleagues. "It's navigating with a precision that suggests advanced intelligence. This isn't random. This is intentional." Military commanders prepared multiple scenarios. Defensive strategies were drafted. Diplomatic protocols were reviewed. The world teetered between excitement and pure terror. Suk Choi continued his communication attempts. He used every known frequency, every possible communication method. Standard protocols. Experimental quantum communication techniques. Mathematical sequences. Binary codes. Nothing penetrated the ship's mysterious barrier. The vessel seemed to watch. To observe. But never to respond. International tension grew. Some nations wanted to approach with diplomatic intentions. Others prepared defensive weaponry. The United Nations called emergency meetings. Scientists from around the globe shared their limited information. In secret research facilities, teams worked to analyze the minimal data collected. The ship's technology defied current human understanding. Its materials seemed to absorb and redirect energy in ways that seemed impossible. Military satellites tracked its movement. Every government wanted answers. Who was controlling this ship? Where did it come from? What were its intentions? Conspiracy theories spread like wildfire across global communication networks. Social media exploded with speculation. Some claimed alien contact. Others suggested a secret government project. A few radical groups claimed time travel. The ship continued its journey, completely indifferent to human speculation. Suk Choi hadn't slept in 48 hours. Coffee cups surrounded his workstation. His team rotated shifts, constantly monitoring, constantly trying to establish communication. "It's like the ship is watching us," he told his colleague. "But it's not responding. It's studying. Waiting." Military commanders prepared multiple response scenarios. Defensive formations were established. Space assets were repositioned. Nuclear-capable nations placed their strategic resources on high alert. The world held its breath. Hours turned into days. The ship maintained its course. No aggressive moves. No communication. Just pure, calculated movement through the vast darkness of space. Dr. Rodriguez's team continued their analysis. The ship's technology suggested capabilities far beyond current human understanding. Its energy signatures were unlike anything they had ever seen. "This isn't just advanced," she told her colleagues. "This is fundamentally different." Global communication networks buzzed. Scientists, military personnel, government officials, everyone wanted answers. But the ship remained silent. A mysterious traveler moving with purpose through the cosmic ocean. Something was coming. Humanity could feel it. The unknown approached, carrying secrets that would change everything. And nobody knew what would happen when first contact finally occurred. Would you like me to continue with the next part of the story or elaborate on any specific aspect of this section? The experimental interceptor vessel Hanem sat ready on the launch pad, a testament to human engineering and desperation. Commander Wu Jin walked through the pre-launch checklist with mechanical precision. This wasn't just another mission. This was humanity's first attempt to understand the impossible. The crew moved like a well-oiled machine. Dr. Yuna Kim checked her scientific equipment, her fingers running over specialized scanning devices designed to capture even the slightest detail. Lieutenant Dae Huang secured the weapon systems, though nobody was sure what kind of defense would work against a ship that defied known physics. Countdown began. Tension filled the launch center. Hundreds of scientists and military personnel watched every screen, every movement. Launch sequence initiated, the computer announced. The HFY lifted off with minimal vibration, a marvel of advanced propulsion technology. Its sleek design cut through the atmosphere like a knife, carrying humanity's hopes and fears into the unknown. Communication with ground control remained constant. Every system was monitored. Every breath of the crew tracked. The mysterious ship continued its path, seemingly unaware or unconcerned about the approaching human vessel. Wu Jin's hands moved across the navigation controls with practiced calm. Years of training had prepared him for complex missions, but nothing compared to this moment. An unknown vessel. No prior contact. No understanding of its capabilities. Approaching visual range, Yuna announced, her voice steady despite the historic nature of their mission. The ship grew larger on their screens. It was unlike anything they had ever seen. No visible engine ports. No traditional structural design. Its surface seemed to shimmer, almost like it was breathing, changing subtly with each passing moment. Scanning, Day reported, his fingers dancing across multiple sensor systems. Minutes felt like hours. The HFY moved closer. The mysterious vessel made no defensive moves. No attempts to evade. It was like a massive, silent observer waiting to be understood. Yuna's equipment began collecting data. Strange energy signatures. Unusual material compositions. Technologies that seemed to bend the very laws of physics they understood. Something's wrong, she muttered. These readings don't make sense. The ship's surface began to change. Not a mechanical movement, but almost organic. Patterns shifted. Colors blended. It was watching them. Studying them. Wu Jin kept the HFY at a careful distance. One wrong move could provoke an unknown response. Years of military training had taught him caution. Prepare initial communication attempt, he ordered. Yuna activated multiple communication protocols. Mathematical sequences. Universal mathematical constants. Simplified visual patterns. Nothing complex that might be misunderstood. The mysterious vessel remained silent. But something had changed. Its movement became more deliberate. More focused. They were close enough now to see details. The ship wasn't just a machine. It was something more. Something that defied current human understanding of technology, biology, and space travel. We're being scanned, Day announced suddenly. But not like any scanning technology we know. The feeling was strange. Like being watched. Not threateningly. But with a sense of deep, calculated observation. Wu Jin felt a chill run down his spine. This wasn't just a technological encounter. This was something more profound. Something that would change humanity forever. The HFY hung in space, mere kilometers from the mysterious vessel. Two technologies. Two potential civilizations. One moment of potential first contact. And nobody knew what would happen next. Would you like me to continue with the next part of the story or elaborate on any specific aspect of this section, Dr. Yuna Kim's hands trembled as the first data streams began to download. The computer screen flickered with strange symbols, mathematical sequences that seemed both familiar and completely alien. Her breath caught in her throat. This can't be possible, she whispered. The vessel's communication port had unexpectedly opened, a perfectly circular opening that seemed to pulse with an inner light. Initial data fragments suggested something impossible. These weren't alien technologies. These were human design principles, but from a future so advanced it seemed incomprehensible. Commander Wu Jin watched carefully. Years of military training had prepared him for many scenarios, but nothing like this. The ship's interior, glimpsed through the data streams, showed technologies that defied current human understanding. Fragments of encrypted information began to resolve. Complex mathematical equations. Technological blueprints. Genetic research data. But most shocking, timestamps and historical references that suggested a terrifying possibility. This ship was from Earth. But not their present. Not their time. It's a warning, Una said, her voice breaking. Something catastrophic is coming. The data revealed glimpses of a potential future. Environmental collapse. Technological wars. A near-extinction event that would push humanity to the brink of total destruction. But this ship, this impossible vessel, was humanity's desperate attempt to change that future. Lieutenant Dai Huan monitored the ship's systems. Strange energy readings pulsed through their equipment. The vessel wasn't just a ship. It was a message. A lifeline thrown across time itself. Encrypted files began to decode. Each revelation more shocking than the last. Advanced medical technologies that could cure diseases. Energy systems that could solve global climate challenges. Technological innovations that would revolutionize human existence. But beneath the hope, a warning. A countdown. A potential apocalyptic event that humanity needed to prevent. The ship's internal systems seemed to be communicating a simple message: change is possible. The future is not set. Wu Jin understood the magnitude of their discovery. This wasn't just a technological breakthrough. This was a message of hope. A chance to rewrite humanity's potential destiny. We need to get this information back to Earth, he said firmly. But the ship had other plans. More data streams began to flow. Complex simulations. Potential technological developments. The path humanity could take to prevent its own destruction. Una's scientific mind raced. The technological principles were beyond current understanding. Quantum computing. Genetic reconstruction. Energy systems that could heal planetary damage. This is more than a warning, she realized. This is a blueprint for survival. The ship's communication became more intense. Rapid data transfers. Complex information that would take years to fully understand. A message from a future version of humanity, reaching back to prevent its own destruction. Dai monitored the external systems. The ship seemed to be merging its technologies with the Hanem's computer systems. Not aggressively, but like a gentle integration of knowledge. Commander Wu Jin felt a strange sense of hope. Humanity had always been about survival. About adaptation. About finding solutions when everything seemed impossible. This ship represented the ultimate proof of human potential. The ability to reach across time. To change a predetermined path. To fight against inevitable destruction. The data continued to flow. Each moment revealing more about a potential future. A future that could be changed. A future that depended on the choices made right now. We're not just receiving information, Una said, her eyes wide with understanding. We're being given a chance. The mysterious ship pulsed with an inner light. A beacon of hope. A message from a future version of humanity. Reaching back. Trying to save itself. And everything was about to change. Would you like me to continue with the final part of the story or elaborate on any specific aspect of this section? The world changed in 72 hours. Global leaders gathered in an emergency United Nations session. The recovered data from the mysterious ship transformed every aspect of human society. Traditional conflicts disappeared. National boundaries became meaningless. The Unified Technological Response Unit formed quickly. Scientists from every continent worked together, something previously thought impossible. Russia shared research with the United States. China collaborated with European nations. Political differences vanished in the face of potential global transformation. Dr. Una Kim became the primary interpreter of the ship's technologies. Her team worked around the clock, decoding complex systems that could solve multiple global challenges. Climate change solutions. Clean energy technologies. Medical breakthroughs that could eliminate genetic diseases. The ship's data revealed a critical timeline. Humanity had approximately 30 years to prevent a massive ecological and technological collapse. Every minute became crucial. Governments redirected military budgets into scientific research. Massive global investment began in sustainable technologies. Universities worldwide started collaborative research programs. Education systems were completely redesigned to focus on problem-solving and technological innovation. Commander Wu Jin briefed world leaders about the ship's origin. The message was clear: humanity's current path would lead to near extinction. But they could change everything. Advanced quantum computing systems were developed within months. Genetic research accelerated. Environmental restoration technologies emerged faster than anyone thought possible. The mysterious ship remained in a secure research facility, continuing to share information. Its very presence united humanity in ways no previous event had achieved. Global communication networks transformed. Information became freely shared. Scientific discoveries were published immediately. Competitive research models collapsed, replaced by collaborative global efforts. Young scientists became global heroes. Innovation became the new currency of human achievement. Schools taught children about collective problem-solving and technological adaptation. Energy systems were completely redesigned. Renewable technologies jumped decades ahead. Climate change mitigation strategies became practical and achievable. Medical research produced breakthrough treatments. Genetic disorders that were previously untreatable became manageable. Human life expectancy increased dramatically. The ship's technologies suggested humanity's greatest strength: adaptability. Not just technological adaptation, but social and philosophical transformation. World leaders who previously argued now worked together. Economic systems were redesigned to support global research and development. Poverty reduction programs expanded globally. Dr. Yoona Kim understood the deeper message. This wasn't just about technological advancement. This was about humanity's collective potential. The ability to recognize a potential disaster and work together to prevent it. We're being given a chance, she told a global audience. A chance to become better. To be more than we are right now. The mysterious ship continued to share information. Each data stream revealed more about human potential. Technologies that could heal planetary damage. Scientific approaches that could solve seemingly impossible challenges. Humanity transformed. Not overnight. But systematically. Purposefully. The future was no longer a predetermined path. It was a choice. A collective decision to be better. To do better. Commander Wu Jin looked at the ship during one of his research visits. It seemed to pulse with a quiet intelligence. A beacon of hope. A message from a future version of humanity. Reaching back. Trying to save itself. And for the first time in human history, the entire planet moved in the same direction. United. Focused. Determined to change everything. The mysterious ship had done more than deliver technology. It had delivered hope. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of this final part of the story?